What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Bethlehem the Beast, back at you with another video. So this is kind of like my impromptu desk. I like to sit on the floor. So we sit on the floor at my coffee table. So this is kind of being this is gonna be like a expanded version of nutrition. So yes, we're gonna go over the breakdown of macronutrients, micronutrients.
The beast! Come on! Get out of my way! Move on! Faster! The beast!
First macronutrient that we're going to go over, protein. Protein. It's very important, right? You're going to go to the gym, you're going to train hard, you're going to tear your muscles, essentially, right? You're going to be creating micro tears at the gym every time you train, and protein is going to be what repairs that, right? So building and repairing muscles comes from adequate protein intake. Again, I kind of touched this in the last video. You can generate a deficit and essentially track your macronutrients, and that'll be great. You'll lose weight. But if you want to build muscle and lose body fat at the same time, you could generally do that, especially if you're coming from a place where you're overweight or you're wanting to put on size. You're going to want to focus on a protein-rich diet. So building and repairing muscles, you're going to go to the gym, you're going to train hard. Protein, adequate protein, 1 gram per pound. Unless you're severely overweight, then again I would try to go and get either go to a gym or some sort of doctor's office, or order you a scale that is able to track your skeletal muscle mass and go based off of that number. So protein is going to be 4 calories per gram, right? So 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So generally, let's say you're on a 150 pounds and you want to get 1 gram per pound. It's going to be 600 calories out of your total daily calories. There's plenty of options that you can have, especially if you're on a specific diet, like you're vegan or paleo, or there's animal sources and there's plant sources of protein, and we could go over that right about now. So I've got this separated in between low-fat and high-fat protein sources. So your low-fat protein sources are going to be your low-fat poultries, right? Chicken breast, turkey breast, egg whites. Staples to go-tos, especially if you watch bodybuilding. Those are going to be some staple meals that they're eating, right? And then you can go into seafood, white fish, shrimp. Again, whatever you're craving, you can have those, especially if you're towards the middle of your day when you don't want to have high fat content. Low fat cottage cheese, moving into dairy. We have non-fat Greek yogurt. For the vegans out there, there's tofu, there's lentils, there's chickpeas, there's black beans. And then again, you can have a whey isolate, casein isolate, pea protein, rice protein, whatever is gonna suit your needs for that moment. But those are some low-fat protein sources. Now getting into high-fat protein sources, it's gonna be beef, steak, for instance, right? Because you can relatively fit in, like I explained in the last video, you can fit in ground beef into your low-fat diet. Anything above 91% lean beef, 90% lean beef, it's relatively calorie friendly. But you can get fattier cuts. Let's say you're craving a burger, you can get 80%. You can get ribeye, you can get T-bone, you can get New York cut. I'm making myself hungry speaking about that. But basically, any kind of steak you like, and you're going to want to have that in moderation at the end of your evening. There's pork belly, there's pork loin, there's pork ribs. Like, it's going to suit your fancy. You're going to want to have these fattier sources of protein towards the end of your evening, because once you introduce fat into a protein source, especially with carbs, it's going to be very slow digesting. So you're going to want to have that when you go to bed, so your body has plenty of nutrients to repair itself while you're sleeping. Salmon, some cuts of tuna are a bit fattier. Basically anything that would, type of craving that you're having for the evening. There's whole eggs, there's full fat Greek yogurt. You can introduce some cheese. Again, I'm not too huge on dairy, even with the yogurt. I like Greek yogurt because there is the added benefit of the enzymes that come with yogurt, so it really enhances digestion. But again, just going purely into like, a lot of us don't even realize how dairy sensitive we are, and that could be very detrimental to your digestion, especially in the evening time when you're wanting to go to sleep and you're going to wake up and have bubble guts, or wake up to the night and have bubble guts, and you're not going to properly digest what you're eating, right? Full fat tofu, there's tempeh. You could have, vegans, or even that likes it. You could have nuts. You can have seeds. There's any type of spread that you like that is nut based. Almond butter. There's cashew butter. There's I think there's walnut butter. I'm not sure. There's peanut butter. Any type of nut based bread is gonna do you solid, and then a bit higher fat, but there is protein in that. So I'll go over the breakdown about how you should structure your meals, but those are some high fat and low fat protein options. Carbohydrates to get demonized quite a bit, right? Like, we're gonna go and watch any older documentary or I don't want to say it like that. You're gonna watch anything and way to go, carnivore is the way to go, paleo is the way to go. Da, 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 da. I don't want to say that's wrong, right? But scientifically speaking, carbohydrates are your body's first source of energy, your primary source of energy. You could train your body to use fat as a source of energy, but your body loves to use glycogen that comes from carbs, right? And that's the only source of glycogen. Actually, you're gonna have type of sugar, which is a simple carb. Any type of glycemic index food is, or even glycemic index foods, they're gonna create glycogen, and glycogen is gonna be your primary energy storage, right? So generate energy from other sources for sure. But your body's main source to keep your body running efficiently, you're going to want to have carbohydrates in your body, right? And it's the same as protein. You could have, kind of over this in the last video, but you can have a deficit with carbs in there. But you're going to want to deficit, or you're going to want to structure your deficit to come from carbohydrates, right? So you're going to generate a protein number, you're going to generate a fat number, and that's relatively not going to change. You're going to generate your deficit from carbs. The same as protein. There's 4 grams per calories per gram. And kind of over this, there's simple carbs, which is quick energy, and there's complex carbs, which is sustained energy. So we can go over some of those sources. Carbohydrates. But first, I would like to start with the glycemic index scale. It's on a scale of 0 to 100. Let's say that, right? And then it's a system ranking carbs on how quickly they raise your blood sugar levels, right? So the quicker your blood sugar levels elevate, the more energy you're going to have in that moment. Hence why easy to overload your glycemic index. You overload your blood sugar levels, and have your body store all that sugar as fat, because that's exactly what happens. We've survived famines and winters and ice ages and stuff for our body to not want to be lean. So when you eat all these sugary foods, high glycemic index foods that are meant for energy, your body's going to be like, oh, well, you're not using it right now, let's store it as fat, right? So it can easily go back into that to use as energy. So low glycemic index foods are slow digesting, and they're steady energy. And some of those sources could be like sweet potatoes, quinoa, oats, like that, to on your digestion. And then there's high glycemic index foods, which are crisp, quick energy, and those are best for pre and post workouts to quickly elevate your blood sugar levels to a glycemic storage that your body could use for energy, right? So you can rice, bananas, type of fruit that's necessarily high in sugar, and that's a natural sugar which comes from glycogen, right? So a source of carbs, which are going to be I want to call them high glycemic, low glycemic, right? But there's fibrous carbs, which any type of dietary fiber in a carb is going to essentially negate that carb, right? So let's say you have 5 grams of carbs, and 4 of those grams of carbs are from fiber. Then you essentially have 1 gram of carbs, right? So you go in the store and you see keto bread, you see keto tortillas, you see keto burger buns, any type of things like that, and you look and you're like, how is this keto? There's 17 grams of carbs, but if you look, there's 15 grams of fiber, right? So then there comes the thing that is called net carbs, right? And net carbs are how your body is going to use those carbs, right? So 15 grams of fiber, your body's going to use that fiber to aid in your digestion. Now, the good sources of fiber that I would like to recommend to you guys, vegetable-wise, broccoli, spinach, asparagus, carrots, cauliflower. All of those options right there are going to be some very high fiber options for you to just kind of filler foods, again, to keep you satiated while you're eating your food. It's going to keep you fuller for longer, right? Fruits, apples, pears, berries, oranges. You can eat an apple and feel relatively full because of its high fiber content, right? So let's say you're having breakfast and you're going to have relatively low glycemic index breakfast, right? So you're going to want it to be slow digesting because you're going to have a breakfast and then you're going to have a lunch again at about 2 o'clock, right? So you want a slow digesting. So you could have something like 3 eggs. You could have a bowl of oats. And then you could have an apple with it, which is going to keep you satiated for very long. And it's going to be very high in fiber, again, with the oats. Oats have quite a bit of fiber, right? So something that you could structure. And then there's legumes and beans, right? Lentils, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans. Essentially, all types of beans are going to be relatively high in fiber. Again, fiber is quite important in your digestion. It stabilizes your blood sugar. And again, it keeps you full for longer. So high fiber, if you've ever had a fiber supplement, you feel quite full after you have it. And you feel that way for a little bit. And, you're low on fiber, it's going to very much help you digest and use those nutrients that you're uptaking into your body. A source of fiber is going to be whole grains. You got quinoa, oats, barley, whole grain bread. So if you go to the store, specific brand of bread that I like, not sponsored by them, I would love to be because I use their products all the time. Dave's Killer Bread. Awesome bread. Awesome bread. Awesome bread. Awesome bread. Awesome bread. So, you can get brown bread. Wheat bread is high in fiber, but what the best thing about Dave's Killer Bread that I like is that their white bread is also high in fiber, and I love white bread. High in fiber is going to mean that it's a low glycemic index food. So, but if you are on a budget, wheat bread that is relatively high in fiber is going to do you well. Okay, going over fats. Where you are going to want to not be so uncareful about, right? Because it'll be easy to undo your deficit because you think that you are taking in healthy fats, and you can be taking healthy fats in, right? But so going over the basics of fats. Fats are going to support your hormone production. It's going to support your cognitive function, your brain, and it's going to also help you absorb vitamins, fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. It's also going to be the most calorie dense option of your diet, right? Very easy to get way too much calories from your fat because it is 9 calories per gram. Quite a bit of calories, if you ask me. Many different types of fats. There's omega-3 fatty acids, there's omega-6 fatty acid, there's monosaturated, there's polyunsaturated fats, trans fats. There's many different types of fats, and it can be kind of confusing as to which ones are good for you and why you need them. So let's go over that. So omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 moderation is going to be reducing inflammation. It's going to help support your brain and heart health, and it's also going to improve your recovery from the gym. Again, in moderation, this is something that you're going to want to have with dinner. I kind of touched that with the protein source, but you can have salmon, you can have mackerel, so there's chia seeds. You can make a smoothie with chia seeds. There's flax seeds, there's walnuts, those types of foods that you're going to want to have towards the end of your day, just to have that slow digesting digestion towards the evening time to keep your body satiated while you're sleeping, and to also help with those inflammation from the gym that you're already having, right? So monounsaturated fats, they are extremely heart healthy. It's going to raise your LDL. That's going to raise your LDL. I think it's going to raise your HDL. Excuse me. It's going to raise your HDL. It's going to lower your LDL. And it's going to provide you with steady energy source. You can get some of those from olive oil, avocados, almonds, cashews, and nut butters, right? A lot of things that I like to recommend, especially to my clients, is that if you're not working out first thing in the morning, have a little bit of higher fat breakfast, right? So you can have, you don't like whole eggs, you'd rather have egg whites, and you love avocado. Okay, so have 3 cups or 1 cup of egg whites, 1 whole egg, half an avocado, a bowl of oatmeal, and apple. I guarantee you, you're gonna be under a 600 calorie breakfast, and especially if you're eating 3 meals a day, that is gonna keep you full for quite a while. Quite a while. And you're gonna get the benefits of the healthiness, cholesterol management, and it's gonna be a steady energy source until your midday meal. Into polyunsaturated fats. It's going to include essential fatty acid, omega-6, omega-3, that the body cannot produce. Get those from sunflower seed, soybean oil, which I'm not a huge fan of. A lot of people can't digest soybean oil that well. Walnuts, fatty fish, which is going to be, if you are not a seafood person, I would recommend taking a omega-3 and omega-6 supplement in the morning and the evening to ensure that you're getting these polyunsaturated fats, because they are beneficial for you. Saturated fats. Saturated fats are essential for your hormone production, and that goes for male and female, right? So if you were to have a zero fat diet, you are probably going to feel like crap. I say that in the best way possible, coming from a bodybuilder, right? I would have refeed days where they were like a zero fat. Hormone wise, I did not feel the best. Okay, so hormone production is going to be mainly coming from your saturated fat sources. These should definitely be consumed in moderation, because these can also elevate your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. So you can get these from coconut oil, grass-fed butter, full-fat dairy. I would recommend a yogurt or a milk. Cheese is an option, but again, stay away from that. And dark chocolates. And dark chocolates would be anything, in my book, over 60% cacao. To ensure that you're not getting extra additives that aren't needed. And then there's trans fats. Avoid these. There's absolutely no use for trans fats. It's going to increase your bad cholesterol, your LDL, and it's going to also increase inflammation. So let's say you had a hard day of training. You trained legs, right? And you want to go home and have your high-fat meal, and you decide to have it from fats. I'm going to cook my steak in margarine tonight, and I'm going to have it with fried in canola oil. And your inflammation goes from already inflamed to super inflamed, and now you can't even move. And again, like, this is something minuscule that a lot of people may not notice because they're used to eating things like this. But trans fat are something that you should definitely avoid at all costs. Fats are what make things essentially taste good. But have it in moderation. Have it once a week, once a month. As little as you can go without having trans fats. I'm going to go over micronutrients, which micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. And these are things that I would recommend. You get some of this from your food. Vitamin A. Vitamin A supports your vision and your immune functions. And you're going to get those from carrots, sweet potatoes, of natural vegetables. You're going to be able to get vitamin A from. But again, all these things I would recommend supplementation with if you feel like you need it. Is going to add complication again to your diet, which is why I would stick to a healthy, balanced diet. We're going to go over these minerals to make sure that you are getting everything that you need. So vitamin A, we just went over that. We got vitamin C. Going to boost your immunity and produce collagen for you. You can get those from citrus fruits or peppers. And it's going to be like an antioxidant, so you could use limes, you can use oranges, you can use lemons, bell peppers, anything of that nature you want to add to your food is going to add vitamin C. D, you could get this from fatty fish or just going outside, and I call these vitamin D walks. I like to go outside, especially in the summertime, and just take my shirt off and walk for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever feels best, because that vitamin D is going to be essential for mental health as well as your bone health and calcium absorption, right? So not only does it have benefits, it has mental benefits, in my opinion. You have B vitamins, right? B vitamins aid with your energy production and brain function. You could get these again from whole grains, many sources of meats. Almost every one of the meats that I went over is going to have vitamin B in it, and you can get it from leafy greens. Vitamin K is going to help with your blood clotting and bone health, right? So strong bones, healthier blood. Leafy greens, broccoli. Very important. If you feel like you're having an issue, especially like you have low hematocrit levels, hematocrit is going to be how thick your blood is. Vitamin K is going to be a great supplement to add to your stack. Or eat more vitamin K dense foods. Minerals. Calcium is for your bones and your muscle contractions, right? You're going to get that. I'm sure, as you guys know, growing up, you probably saw those milk commercials. Drink your milk for strong bones. And they have a point, right? So a lot of dairy is going to have very high calcium content, but so does leafy greens such as kale and spinach. Don't feel like you're getting enough calcium, take a calcium supplement. But this is not necessary as long as you have a balanced diet, right? Also going to help with your muscle contractions in the gym. If you have a calcium deficiency, you're going to probably have a hard time getting a pump in the gym. So, if you are deficient in calcium, try adjusting your diet. If you're still in calcium, go get a supplement. All right, magnesium. I quite love magnesium because when you are deficient in magnesium, you are going to have bad cramps. And this could also come from having sufficient water and sodium balance. If you have too high of sodium and not enough water, you're going to get cramps, essentially dehydration. But magnesium is definitely going to help with that, and also helps with your recovery. You can get that again from leafy greens and nuts. If you feel like you are magnesium deficient, add it to your stack. If not, there's no need. Iron. Iron is what's going to keep your energy high, right? If you have an iron deficiency, you are lethargic, you feel like crap, I can't do much, look pale, all of that, right? And it's going to be because your body is not getting the proper oxygen around your body that it needs. It's going to deplete the shit out of your energy storage, right? So you can get that from red meat, lentils, form of meat, of beans for you vegans out there, and spinach. If you feel like you're deficient in iron, you have sustainably low levels of energy when you try to do anything physical, even just not doing anything physical, might be time for an iron supplement. All right, potassium regulates your fluid balances and muscle contractions. So this is going to be the same thing. If you are consistently drinking enough water, taking your magnesium supplement, and you're still getting cramps, you may have a potassium deficiency, when that may be time to add into your supplement stack. You can get those from bananas or sweet potatoes, or just take a vitamin supplement for it. It's pretty easily to get. Zinc is going to go in hand with vitamin C. Is when you go to the store and you buy vitamin C, you normally see vitamin C and zinc. It's going to be like a super C supplement, right? Zinc is going to be the same general thing. It's going to support your immunity, and it's also going to help you with protein synthesis. You can get these from oysters and seeds. Zinc, I feel is one of those optimization things. You're not going to really notice if you're deficient in zinc, but it's mainly used to help with your immunity. Although it does have protein synthesis claims, maybe even scientifically speaking, it may have some uses behind protein synthesis. But do I use it? No, I don't. All right, so let's go over how you would structure those macronutrients into your meal plan, right? So let's say you are at 3,000 calories a day for maintenance calories of the current weight that you're at, with your daily energy expenditure being that you go to the gym or you get steps in, however you're burning your calories. So let's say that you are going to have 5 meals a day plus a snack, or 2 snacks. We'll say it like that. So I have a basic meal plan. That's something that I would prescribe to one of my clients. So 2,500 calories a day. And we'll go over macros and calorie totals for these meals and why we're doing what. So meal 1 is going to be breakfast, right? So let's say that you are not training in the day. You're not training in the morning. So what I would suggest that you have is 6 egg whites. You can get that in the store. There's those carton egg whites. I believe it's 42 grams per 3 egg whites. So it would be about 84 grams of egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and you're going to want those 2 whole eggs for your healthy fats, omega-3s. Carbs are going to be a low glycemic index carb, which is going to be half a cup of rolled oats. Fats are going to be peanut butter. Throw a tablespoon of peanut butter, 16 grams of peanut butter into your oats. And then you're going to add about a quarter cup to half a cup of berries. Roughly 20 calories, right? So your meal one total is going to be 405 calories. So your meal one totals are going to be 405 calories, 25 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fats. Midday snack. If you're like me, you get hungry. I get hungry quite often. So midday snack, I would suggest if you are hungry, and there's 2 optional snacks per day. So if you are a big eater and you would rather have a snack throughout the day, go for it. But also structure it into your meal plan, right? So you could have 4 bigger meals, or you could have 5 bigger meals essentially, or you could have 4 smaller meals and 2 snacks. Midday snack, mid-morning snack, we'll call this, right? So let's say you have a meal planned at 1 and you're hungry at 11. So this is what I would suggest. Have a scoop of protein, a scoop of whey isolate, 120 calories, 25 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs. Have an apple, and also have about 10 to 12 almonds, which is about a handful. It's not much, but it's going to keep you satiated with that apple. The almonds are going to give you that flavor that you need along with those healthy fats. So this is going to be a 285 calorie snack. 20 grams of protein, 20 grams of carbs, 8 grams of fats. Lunch, here's what I would suggest. Lunch is going to be 6 ounces of chicken breast. That is going to be 40 grams of protein, 2 grams of fats. I would also suggest, it's up to your preference at this point, but a lower glycemic index food, so sweet potatoes, quinoa, something like that. But here I have 1 cup of quinoa, 220 calories, 40 grams of carbs. Also add a tablespoon of olive oil to it. So you could have essentially like a fried rice type of dish, and we're gonna throw in 2 cups of broccoli. Steamed broccoli, or you can just get the frozen broccoli. I have a recipe where I just throw it all in the oven, or you can just have your quinoa already cooked, throw your chicken breast in there after it's already been slightly cooked, and along with your frozen broccoli, and stir it all together with the olive oil. Have a fried rice. 2 cups of steamed broccoli or fried broccoli, however you want to prepare it. So it'd be 50 calories. Meal totals for that are going to be 40 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs, and 18 grams of fat. Again, if you are a big eater, here comes your second snack. So this is in between that 3 o'clock, that 1 o'clock lunch, and that 5 o'clock dinner. You're gonna have 1 cup of Greek yogurt, non-fat. 1 cup, I believe, is 150 grams, something like that. 100 calories, 10 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs. You're gonna add another half a cup of mixed berries for the satiety. And you're going to add a cup of chia seeds for volume. 12 grams protein, 10 grams carbs, 4 grams fat. 160 calories. Dinner. Your dinner is going to be, again, we're going to go over this. We've already touched on this, but a higher fat dinner. So you can have 8 ounces of salmon. You can have 1 sweet potato, baked sweet potato. You're going to add 1 teaspoon of grass-fed butter to that sweet potato. Then you're going to steam some asparagus or cook it with your salmon, whatever you would like to do. The asparagus is going to be 1 cup. So meal total for this is going to be 40 grams of protein, 25 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fat. Again, if you're hungry like I am, here comes another snack. And this is something that I would suggest. This is completely optional. But if you get throughout your day and you get to those 5 meals and you're like, dude, I just so hungry, I can't do it. Here's what I would suggest. Take 1 scoop of casein protein powder. Casein because it is extremely slow digesting. And add it with a scoop of almond butter, 1 teaspoon of almond butter, and maybe about 50 to 70 grams of Greek yogurt. And make like a protein pudding. It's going to be 25 grams of protein. It's going to be 10 grams of carbs and 3 grams of fat. All of this is going to total up to 2,500 calories. With all the added snacks, it's going to be 200 grams of protein. Carbs are going to be 210 grams of carbs and 75 grams of fat. Very easy to structure a meal plan, especially with the options that I've given you. And you can fit training in around any of these times. I would do it essentially before dinner. Have dinner as that last meal of the day. Or if you want to train in the morning, go for it, whatever works best for your schedule. But there's a breakdown of how I would structure a meal plan and how I do structure my meal plans for my clients, what I would suggest. So it's not as hard as you guys think. It's more of just generating the knowledge and applying it. So hopefully this helps you guys along with your fitness journey. So be the best version of you. I appreciate you guys tuning into another video. It's your boy, Bethlehem the Beast, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.